everybody. Welcome to ICC's Game of the Week with your host, as always, Joel Benjamin. Most of the attention at the Qatar Masters was focused on World Champion Magnus Carlsen, who managed to win the event despite the drama of an upset draw in the first round. But there was another grandmaster that played incredibly bold and enterprising chess, winning extremely complex games where any result was possible. Unfortunately, Shakhriyar Mamedyarov lost badly to Carlsen in round 8 and finished well down in the crosstable after losing again to Sanan Sjugirov. Mamedyarov had pulled joint first after winning a crazy game against Ganguly, culminating in a long ending. Earlier, he used an audacious novelty to defeat Khismatullin in another mystifying game. For our featured game, I'll go back further to Mamedyarov's third-round tussle with American grandmaster Alex Lenderman. From a relatively quiet position, Mamedyarov launched into speculation mode with a flurry of sacrifices. It wasn't entirely sound, but it presented Lenderman with a confusing array of possibilities to sort through. Okay, let's get to it. Mamedyarov playing white, and he was very dynamic with white in this tournament, although not against Carlsen, unfortunately. And it starts out as it's not a Nimzo Indian move order, but after bishop b4 check, it comes back to one by transposition. c5, and this move generally is answered by g3. If white plays knight f3 instead of e3, there are some important differences like that. The bishop can go to g5 in a lot of variations, and this move g3 was a line that was quite popular when I was a younger player, I'd say back in the 80s and 90s, and just don't see it so much anymore, but still an important line. White, like many openings today, is banking that bishop on g2 will put pressure on the long diagonal, and mostly to make it difficult for black to develop the bishop on c8. Okay, so Lenderman plays knight c6. There are many games with that, but most games from this position, black starts with an exchange on d4. And while he can play knight e4, usually the most common continuation is castles followed by d5. And from here, there are also many branches. White c takes d5 is the most common move. Queen b3 is a move. And finally, I could mention the possibility of knight c2, because that was played in a very important game in this tournament where Yu Yang-yi defeated Wesley So with that move, which was kind of a springboard to him finishing tied for first. But his win was not really because of the opening there. So knight c6, developing move, and now black plays knight e4. And so the idea here is that black just wants to simply grab the bishop pair. He's not really concerned about creating any weak pawns on the queen side. That often happens in this opening. And now queen b6. Lenderman might have been thinking about the recent game played between Melkumyan and Knightich, where white played knight c2, bishop b7, castles, castles, rook fd1, rook d8, rook ab1, queen e3. Certainly this is by no means forced play, but in that game, Knightich was eventually able to get everything out and come